Hi, it's the Lipstick Gal. Thanks so much for watching today. We're talking about M Cosmetics and ranking things from least favorite to most loved. I have to be totally honest. Out of all the brands I've tried, I think this is one of the, maybe the only brand that I have every single product they've launched. Not every color in that product, but I have every single makeup product they've launched. I don't have their Face Cuddle Balm and I don't have their clear lip cushion, but everything that has color, I have at least one of every single product that they have out there for sale. One of my favorite things about M is that they're not like instantly releasing something new every week. It's not like release, 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 release. I don't have that sort of release fatigue that I get from other brands. I feel like M Cosmetics takes their time. They develop a formula that is perfect for what they're trying to formulate. And when they finally put it out there, it makes so much sense to me. It's a sort of makeup I want to wear. If I didn't have like a massive collection and I was just going for makeup that I instantaneously gravitate towards, it would be all of this. All right, so remember, love this brand. Love everything they make. This is not like this is bad, this is not. We're gonna talk about it, but I feel like you just need to know, I already love the brand, love it so much. I have one of everything that they make. And I really like their makeup aesthetic and the way that they go about bringing products into existence. As of today, M Cosmetics has 17 makeup items on their website. And this is the one that I reach for the least often. I reach for it more in summertime when I'm wearing less base products and I want just a little bit of color. I think it's a really pretty product, but it doesn't work for me all year long. And it's their Serum Color Drops. I have the shade Cherry Splash. My first beef is that I don't always, even though I feel like, okay, I have it in here, I'm gonna depress it. People have complained about the dispenser. It's a little hit and miss dispenser wise. And I feel like this is a lot of, it's a lot of pigment. They do have lighter shades, but I love Cherry Splash. So in the summertime, when I'm wearing like corrector under the eyes, a little something in the brows, a lip gloss, if I take the time not just to put lip gloss or lipstick on my cheeks like I usually do, I'll reach for this. Because when you start to blend it, it is absolutely stunning. Look at that. You get kind of a glass skin glowy look. You can build it up for more color, but I like how it gives a really hydrated look and it's not too much. This is one of those products that I feel really kind of kicked off the Serum Blush kind of, I don't know. I remember ColourPop started making stuff. I remember drugstore brands started making serum blushes. There's a lot of companies that make serum blushes. I feel like when Michelle developed this and put it out there, it was very different than the other types of cream blushes we've been seeing or liquid blushes, but it brings so much glow to the skin, the idea of skincare infused in here. It's beautiful. I can never get it to work on top of foundation or on top of anything that's set. I can only use it on skin, like over the top of sunscreen or something. If I'm having a really good skin day, I can conceal a little bit here, redness around the nose. You know, if I'm happening to have any acne, I'll put something on that. And then I can dab this right here and it's beautiful. But this is not an everyday product for me, which is why it's at number 17. Number 16 on this list is their Daydream Cushion Foundation. This is a product that comes in a cushion compact like this. The one thing that I like about it is when you get it originally, it comes with a refill. Most Asian brands, J Beauty and K Beauty cushion foundations come with a refill. So you buy one, it comes in the compact and then you can refill it. The thing that's great about this is you can order just the refill and you don't have to keep buying new packaging every time. I love that. I wear the lightest shade in Cloud Dream. I think it's a beautiful formula. It looks like skin. It's the right shade for me. It's glowy, it's hydrating, it looks dewy. This is what it looks like when it's not set. I have it set under the eyes, down the nose and chin, and right across the forehead. I can't wear foundation, any foundation, especially this one since it's a little bit glowier, a little bit dewier on my forehead without setting it, because my expression lines are so large and so deep, and this is such a glowy product. It just kind of slides into there, and then I have real distinct lines of product, like little stripes of color, which is not what I'm going for. Happens here, sometimes corners of my eyes, corners of my nose, and right here. So those are the places that I always make sure to set. But this is beautiful. It's at number 16 just because, you know, I don't use it daily. I used to use it a lot more when I first got it. It's a beautiful product. It looks skin-like. I just feel like I have other foundations that don't migrate into my expression lines as quickly as this does. If I set it, it wears really well, but I like the look of it without being set. The other thing is it has SPF of 50 and it has a PA rating of 3 pluses. Highest rating is 4 pluses. You're getting good protection from UVA and UVB, but remember, never expect to get all the SPF coverage you'll need from a product alone. But this is at number 16 just because I don't reach for it as much as I do the other products on this list. It's still beautiful. I would still recommend it if you're curious. If you like cushion foundations, you might really like this. Product number 15 is their Soft Blur Velvet Lip Liner. I only have one. And I think the reason it's at number 15 is because out of all the products that I've tried, a lot of them I've purchased multiples of. I was sure I was gonna love this. It's not a bad lip liner. It's a nice lip liner. It's comfortable, it glides, it doesn't catch, it doesn't feel dry and tugging. It's really pretty, but I feel like there are other formulas that last longer at this price range. This is what, high teens, low 20s. It's nice, but I feel like I'm glad I have it. When this runs out, I probably won't replace it from M. I'll probably find a similar shade that I like in a formula that's just a little higher up on my list, and I'll replace it that way. But it is beautiful. I'm wearing it today. It pairs beautifully with all of their lip products. Beautiful product, but just not one that I feel like is my must-have. Number 14 is one that I was so excited for. I wanted to love this so bad, and when it launched last year, I was like, need, must have. It's their Moonbeam Cushion Highlight. And this is interesting when you think about it. All of the more liquidy products are towards the end of my list. Now remember, I love everything on this list. Not saying that these are bad. They're just not my most used, the ones that I reach for and are like kind of like my daily. And I think a lot of it is because I still struggle with application. This comes with the cutest little puff. Like, it's so adorable. But I found that when I applied this, you might still be able to see that there are little speckles of foundation on here from when I pressed it in and then I started doing this. I have the most success. I'm wearing this today as highlight. This is the highlight that I'm wearing here. I have the lightest shade in Halo when I just stick my finger in there and I pick up a little bit, and it's so pretty. Oop, I just swatched it over the liner. Excuse me. But this is what it looks like. When I use this little puff here and I place it this way, I might be pressing too hard because I'm picking up foundation and whatever else I have down. So I like it best, and I can really feel how much pressure I'm using with my finger. I think it's pretty. They have another highlight that I like a little bit better, but I think it's just easier for me to use. But when I'm using their cream and their liquid products, I reach for this. It's really pretty, but it's not my first highlight love from M. At number 13 is a product that was one of the first I ever tried from M Cosmetics, and it's their True Glosses. This is my favorite shade. I love this. This is called Moroccan Sunset. But this gloss, it's almost like a liquid lipstick. It's shiny, it's glossy, but it's got like extreme pigment to it. And I find that to be true with all the shades. This is one that I really like. This one here is Ash Rose. It's a little bit cooler. It's not my most used, but like the amount of pigment you get from these is really surprising. They're comfortable on the lips. They are kind of pillowy and plushy. They don't kind of sink and collect into the corners and string and pull. That's one of the things I cannot abide that gloss formulas can do. I have two minis. These actually came in a set of four. Four of them were not my shades. There was one that was more of a caramel shade, and there was a mini of Moroccan Sunset. So I gave them to a friend who was gonna like them more. I didn't open the Moroccan Sunset, and the one in caramel, I just realized it's too brown for my taste. I'm not gonna use it, but I love this formula. This is Magic Hour. This is Lotus Blossom. They're very warm. They seem like the lighter sister of Moroccan Sunset, but this is my fave because it's not really a red. It's kind of a terracotta. It's fantastic. I also happen to have their crystal clear gloss. This one's just called Quartz. This is the most, okay, I'm gonna put these down because I'm holding too many gloss. What's interesting is all three of these have a different wand on them. So the one in clear has more of a flat paddle type. This one here has more of a kind of pointed doe foot applicator, which I think is nice because that pointed edge helps me kind of almost line my lips with the product. And the small one, it has the same sort of applicator that they put on their Infinite Lip Cloud, which is kind of like a little chair, like a little scoop that's taken out of it so it hugs your lips as you're applying. They both work really well, but I like that the clear one has this paddle on it. It looks like the sort of applicator that I would find on a concealer or on other lip glosses, but this is like, it's clear and it's the shiniest lip gloss. Love, love, love. This formula has always been impressive to me, and that's why I have so many in this formula. Number 12 on the list is a product I never intended to buy. I only got it because it came in a set with other things that I wanted to try, and I was like, fine, whatever. The bundle saved me money by buying 3 items together. And this is one of those items. And I was like, no, I know it's not gonna be for me because I don't do liquid lipstick. Okay, I didn't trust. I should have trusted that the Infinite Lip Cloud from M Cosmetics was gonna be different. I recently mentioned this in a Products I Waited Too Long to Try video. I'll link it for you here, put it in the description box below. But let me give you a real short version of this. It has that same sort of applicator where it's kind of like a little scoop taken out of it so it hugs your lips nicely. It's extremely pigmented. This is the shade Red Divine. It smells like chocolate. Delicious. The shade that I'm wearing today is Rose Nude or Nude Rose? Rose Nude. And I love this. First of all, it smells amazing going on. I always expect a liquid lipstick to be thin, and this is not a heavy liquid lipstick. I don't feel like I have a lot on my lips, but what I like about it is it doesn't dry down to an indelible finish where you could rub your lips, you could like go like this and you wouldn't get anything on your clothes. Like, you're still gonna see there is a minimal amount of transfer. This has been on for a while, so there's a little bit there. I'm not getting like full pigment. If I were to go over these, you're gonna see a lot more color on my finger because they still haven't kind of dried down. I've been wearing this for a while, but I love the comfort level of these. There is something about this light whipped texture. If you've ever tried the ones from Rare Beauty, I feel like they're similar in formula to this because they never dry down, they never flake, they never turn my lips to a desert. I don't end up with little shriveled raisins that need like 4 days of moisturizing, you know, night sleep masks, like ultra plumping whatever to get them back to their pre-liquid lipstick state. These don't abuse my lips. They smell good, they feel good, they wear pretty well. I think of it as a liquefied lipstick that's comfortable, not a liquid lipstick that's gonna dry on your lips and not budge. And I think that had I known that, I would have picked these up a long time ago. This is the sort of formula, if I didn't already have like 220, 230 lip products in my collection, I would buy more of these. But I like that I have a red and that I have a nude, and I have mixed them together before to get something in between. It's elegant, it's beautiful. They're worth the money and they're worth the try, even if you're not a liquid lipstick sort of person, because they break the mold for your expectations of what liquid lipsticks are. They're not like the KVD, they're not like the Dose of Colors, they're not like other brands that are really dry. They're just beautiful. I love these. Number 11 on this list are these eyeshadows here. These are shadow singles. These are the Cosmic Pearl Dewy eyeshadows. I'm wearing these on the lids here and then in the inner corner. These are remarkable. I almost bought another one of these the other day and I was like, these are the two, you already have the two shades you're gonna wear the most, don't do it. But look at these. Look at the metallic shine on these. These don't have fallout. If you want a super metallic eyeshadow with no fallout, this is what you want. This right here. The one thing I will tell you is when I build it up to be like this, if I'm wearing it all day long, sometimes I will see it kind of settling in the crease. It starts out looking really pretty like this. I used a brush to put it on today, so it's not quite as metallic as this. You can see it's slightly lighter on the eye. But when I wear it like this on the eye, I end up having it kind of settle in the crease of my lid. I don't know if that's because my eyelid is 47 or whether that's just this product. But all I do is I take a natural hair brush and I just go over it like this and it's all gone. You could also just kind of pat over it with your finger or just kind of rub it out and that would be fine. But if I don't want to babysit it, I don't put it on this heavy. If I want it to look like this, I either wear it like if I'm going to a friend's house for a dinner party, if we're going out for something. I don't wear it like 7 o'clock in the morning till when I come home because I will notice that I'll have like a little line here. I don't know if it's just me. I do put eye serum on my eyelids, so maybe my eyelids are just a little bit on the greasier side. But the metallic shine from these is what makes these so beautiful for me. And these are the sort of things that I like having in my arsenal for a day when I want an elevated look that's easy and beautiful and takes no time. I'll pat it on with my finger, take the brush and just kind of blend it up into the crease and out and throw on mascara, and that's my eye look. In 2 minutes, I can get both eyes done. If I want to take an extra minute to put on a little bit of liner, you know, 3 minutes later, liner, eyeshadow, mascara, and I'm out the door. These are great for those fast days, or if you don't want to fuss and you like a one shadow look and you like metallic things, but you don't like fallout, these are beautiful. I think for me, the downside was, and the reason I told myself I was never going to get one, is because they're $26 a piece. But after having had them in my collection, I understand what is special about these, and the $26 price point is worth it because I have two. Number 10 on this list is my favorite lip product that M makes. I'm a lipstick lover and I love a glossy, comfortable, sheer product, which is why I like their lip cushion tinted luminizers. I have two shades. I have a third one on the way. All right, so the first one I ever tried is this one in Mystic. This one is fun because it is kind of like a deeper berry shade. And it's so pretty, and it's like gloss in a stick form. And when you put it on your lips, it's just juicy and glossy and gorgeous. Now, I do have little lines around the outside of my mouth, being 47 and drinking from straws daily. And, you know, sometimes you'll find me pursing my lips. I do have those lines. And certain products can tend to go out. I don't find that happens that often with these. Maybe a little bit with the darker shade right here on the bottom, but I never notice it with this one. This one is my favorite. If we were gonna rank these, this would be number 2 and this would be number 1. And this is the new shade from the Masterpiece collection called Mona Lisa. It's the most beautiful kind of caramely, toasty, my lips but better shade. I did order the other one in this, I forget what it's called, but it's just a little bit darker, a little bit more terracotta. Can't wait till it gets here. Number 9 on this list is one of my favorite products that M makes, and it's this. It's their So Soft Blush. With that order, with the new lip cushion, I have another one of these coming. I have the shade Bitten coming, which is more of a deep, kind of almost bronzy red. But the shade that I have right now is Venetian Rose. It's one of their most popular shades. I love this product so much. So I am wearing a little bit of this right here on the apples of the cheeks underneath the powder blush that I have on. But my favorite thing about this is that it blends with no effort. I went around it 4 times and this is what I get. Today, I brushed this over the top of it and I just kind of tapped it where I wanted it. Instant, beautiful, radiant glow. This actually dries down. Like if I'm touching it here and it's really thick, it's a little bit creamy. I actually like wearing this on the lips too. But once it's like this, it kind of dries down to, and I wouldn't say it's a powdery finish, but it's not one of those that stays tacky on the skin. It's fantastic. It lasts all day. It's buildable. Not all cream blushes build well on top of themselves. You can get a layer or two down, and if halfway through the day you want a little bit more, you start putting something on there. It doesn't always apply over itself well hours later. This does. I love this, and I love this shade in Venetian Rose. I'm glad I have another one coming. Number 8 is this. I love this product. This is another So Soft product, but this is their multi Face Play Sculpt and Bronze Stick. I have the lightest shade in Summer, and I like it because it gives me, I'm using it kind of like as a sculpt today. I have a little bit here, a little bit here, a lot underneath the chin here, but again, like, it blends with no effort. With no effort. If I was blending the other way, you'd see it was easy to do too. But I like the way that it just like, you're not left with like crazy splotches. It doesn't lift. Neither of these products are patchy. These are my favorite cream cheek products. That's hard to say because I have a lot of really big time loves. But if I'm going quick and I want to get ready and I don't want to have to worry about being careful, I reach for these. These are beautiful. Love these. Number 7 is their powder highlight. This is their Sunscape highlight. I have the lightest shade in Clarity, and it's gorgeous. I love this. I remember using one of their eyeshadows for a highlight before they came out with this product last year. It's just the most pretty, glowy. It's gorgeous. The one thing I will tell you is they have a special blurring technology built into this and their powder blushes that are supposed to blur imperfections, blur the side of pores, so things don't look like they're creating more texture on the skin. I feel that I see it more in the blushes than I do in the highlight because the highlight is so like seriously reflective. But I feel like other highlights would show more of the texture on the back of my hand. And when I really take the time to like buff it in and I don't layer it on too much, it's the prettiest glow. I really love this, and I had to finally put it in a drawer because it was the only highlight I was reaching for over and over and over and over again. And I'm trying to be really good about rotating through all of my collection throughout the year. But if I wasn't keeping myself on like a try all the things you own, this would be on the desktop and would be one of my most reached for. Number 6 from M is this, their Divine Skies eyeshadow. These two are 2021 purchases and my most used eyeshadow palette of last year. Once I started using this, I couldn't stop. I reached for it every single day. This one tends to be a little bit peachier, but this shade right here was the one I was using for highlight before they came out with their actual highlight. And you'll see the difference. This is what the shade looks like from the eyeshadow palette. And this here just has a little bit more of a metallic shine to it. But the great thing about these is you can use one shadow, you can use 2 shadows, you can use all 6 shadows, and you get a really beautiful cohesive look. This is the one in Magic Hour that I have used the most. The one that I'm wearing today is from their Masterpiece collection. This one's called Rodin. I would say out of all 3 of these, it might be because it's new, this is my fave. I like how balanced these are. I like the size of these palettes. I like that they're small. You're not getting, a ton of eyeshadow. I'm getting 6 beautiful eyeshadows. I'm getting 3 metallics and 3 mattes in each palette. I particularly like this slightly warm neutral, and this is the one that I'm using today. I did use a couple of metallic shades from Magic Hour, but I would say this is number 1. This is number 2, and coming in at number 3, if we were to rank all of these, would be Venetian Rose. Now this is beautiful and I really like it, and what's interesting, if I can hold them all up, you can see that we have a very similar vibe going on. One over here is a little peachier, one's a little pinkier, but some of those matte shades, they're kind of similar palette to palette. Now, for someone like me who loves a matte, kind of neutral shade, that's the best thing ever. One of my favorite things about the packaging that M does for these is that they're all the same size, all the same shape, but I know which one I'm grabbing based on the color. Venetian Rose, Rodin, and Magic Hour. They do that with their blushes as well, and I love that attention to detail. It's so amazing. But I don't like to wear eyeshadow primer. It's like one extra step I don't really have time or energy for. These wear beautifully all day long. I can put my makeup on at 7 in the morning, work all day, come home, and at 5:30 when I walk in the door, my eyeshadow still looks really pretty. Now, they wear well with eyeshadow primer, but I love that they don't need that extra step. I love the metallics in here. I think they're so pretty. The metallics are so shiny and gorgeous, and the mattes blend themselves. So these are the swatches from Magic Hour, but I really feel like these are worth the price point. And I've always liked a smaller palette, and I think that's why I keep reaching for these and why I have 3 of them. I almost bought the other one from the Masterpiece collection, but I was like, no, you have the 3 that you'll use the most. They'll come out with more eventually, but this is probably in my top 3 favorite eyeshadow formula. These are beautiful. If we're talking top 5 products, this is where I want to tell you I love every single one of these. These are all daily use, and I have to force myself to use other things. Number 5, and I didn't think I would be devoted, is their Pickpiece Mascara. I am wearing it today. I feel like it actually makes my short, kind of downward pointing, like no big deal eyelashes really look nice without making them too clumpy. They are elongated. They look a little bit fuller. They definitely have, you know, color all the way to the tips, but it's not too much. This is my everyday mascara. And the other thing that I love about this, it's a tubing mascara, which means that it's not gonna flake, that it's not gonna smudge, and that it comes off with just water at the end of the day. Favorite thing ever. Because I love other mascaras that are a lot more effort to remove, but I'll tell you, this just sliding off in little stringy tubes at the end of the day with warm water, mwah, love. This is my 3rd tube of this. Now, I know that this type of, you know, everyday mascara isn't for everybody. It's the sort of thing I like to wear to work when I'm not wearing a really involved eye look. It's the sort of thing I like to wear when I know I have a long day ahead of me so that I don't deal with smudging or flaking. I think it's a really beautiful formula. I wish there was just a hint more volume in it, but it's pretty awesome for everyday wear. Number 3 and number 4 were really hard for me because I was like, they could be interchangeable depending on where they are. But at number 4 is this. This is the Fine Liner Pencil. And this is their brow pencil. This is a fabulous pencil. It looks like a little dash. If you turn it the other way, you can see that it's a little bit wider, but when you turn it this way, it makes the most perfect little tiny baby hair strokes in your eyebrows. I used to love the ones that are round, like the Anastasia Brow Wiz and the NYX Micro Pencil. I think those are still good, but this, since it's kind of a long, thin pencil anyway, this is the 3rd one. I picked it up for the first time last year, and I don't wear a ton of brow products every day, but I love this. And I normally would find a less expensive product at the drugstore. I've purchased this so many times, and I think I have 2 backups of this fine liner pencil. I don't want to be without it. I don't want to be without it. This also is kind of like the Goldilocks of spoolies. Some spoolies aren't stiff enough. Some are so stiff that they're scratching your skin and hurting you. This one is nice. I like that the formula isn't too waxy. It stays on the skin. It kind of bulks up the eyebrow itself, and it brushes beautifully through. I feel like it does a lot of really good things, but for me, it's how skinny I can make those hair strokes look. If I'm using a round pencil, they just look a little bit more drawn in. This can really get me the look of a fine line, almost hair-like stroke without needing to be a marker type product. Number 3, and it's because I can use it all on its own. I could use the pencil all on its own, but I like it when it's paired with this. And this is their Micro Fluff Sculpting Brow Cream. I also have 2 backups of this. I love these brow products. They're so good. I don't want to be without them, so I buy them when they're on sale or when they're bundled together and they're less expensive. My favorite part about this is this little teeny tiny baby wand. Mine is slightly curved because I've been sticking in and out of here, but this is my 3rd one, and then these make 4 and 5. I don't want to be without these brow products. So I start by back combing my brows because there's fibers in this product. So not only does the gel bulk up my brow, but the fibers adhere, and they're not long fibers, they're not short fibers. They look natural and they create the look of more hairs. I use the shade Universal Taupe. In the pencil, I use the shade Deep Taupe. I feel like the colors work well for me. And this formula, on the days that I'm wearing concealer, this, and a lip product, this is what I will go through and put in my brows to make my brows look just a little bit more without being too dark like they are now. This is beautiful, but when I pair it with the pencil, eyebrows with my dreams. Love. When it came to product placement, I couldn't decide which was number 1 and which was number 2. The top 5 is really hard for me, but I put in the top 5 the products that I reached for the most. And at number 2, I realized it had to be these guys. These are the Heaven's Glow Baked Radiant Blushes, and these are fantastic. I have 4 shades and I love, like the eyeshadows, that I can tell which one I'm picking up based on the outside packaging. Let me show you the swatches. This one here is one of their newer ones. It's a limited edition shade called Cherub. This is one called Baroque. It comes from their Masterpiece collection. I love this formula so much. I bought the other one from the Masterpiece collection. So Rococo is on its way to me right now. This is the baked version of Venetian Rose. And this is the one that kind of started it all. This is Magic Hour. This is the first product that when I tried it and I put it on my cheeks, this was back in February of 2020. It was the first time I was ever trying anything. I was trying this and I was trying this. And I was like, I'm just gonna see what all of this hullabaloo is about. I was blown away. I will list that video for you in the description box down below. One of my favorite things about these is that they have a subtle radiance to them. It's not to the level of like glow that you would get from a highlight, but there are days that I skip highlight altogether and I wear this kind of higher up on the cheeks, and that glowy blush look is so pretty. I'll tell you, I like that they come out with shades like this in multiple formulas. So if you fall in love with the shade, these are all Venetian Rose. If you like Magic Hour, you can get a whole bunch of Magic Hour products to create a whole look. I love that they do that. I think it's super smart, but this formula is literally my favorite blush formula. I don't think there is a powder blush that I reach for more than this. And it could be because it's glowy. I don't know that it's just that, but it's just so pretty on the skin. All of these shades work really well on me. This one here in Baroque is the lightest blush they have. I remember hearing some people say that when they got this, it was almost like a highlight for them. I'm a very fair-skinned person. This is beautiful blush on me. For blush today, I did use a little bit of this on the apples of my cheeks, and then I swept this over the rest. I think this is a beautiful product. I love the formula of it. It works well on skin that has been set. It works well over unset foundation, concealer. It works beautiful on bare skin on top of like sunscreen or skincare. It's just pretty. I like that M has 3 different blush formulas. They have a liquid, they have a cream, and then they have these guys. But this is just my favorite. And it could be that my comfort zone is more powder blush anyway, but the fact that they're glowy, they have a little bit of radiance to them. They don't emphasize any of the texture that I have right in through here, because some things just really catch in my crow's feet, or you know, the pores that I have here, it just really emphasizes. These have a blurring technology to them. They're just beautiful. I love these. I have 4 and number 5 is on its way. Literally my favorite blush. And if you are a blush fiend, if you haven't tried these, they're worth it. The product that's number 1 on my list is this. It's the M Cosmetics Illustrative Liner. I have it in the shade Brown. My favorite thing about it is that it's a brush tipped applicator. Now, some people really love a felt tip. I really prefer a brush tip. I find that it is way more flexible, and it can make the thinnest and the thickest lines based on how much you press. This is going to be weird, but if you press more, you get a much thicker line. If you don't press hard, you get a really thin line. I love this product. I'm able to start with a really light pressure on the inside corner and draw it as close to the lash line as possible. And then when I get to the outer edge, I can press a little bit harder. You don't need to go in one fell swipe either. Little brush strokes will get you there. The other thing that I love about this is I'll take this and I will jab it in between my lashes where I have gaps, and I don't want that kind of skin color to be showing through my lashes, so I do that a lot. And then I'll take the very fine edge of this and just kind of line right along the lash line to make sure that I make my lash line as dark as possible. My goal has always been to find a liner that I can put in my upper waterline that won't transfer to my lower when I blink. I haven't found one of those yet, but I find that kind of rimming the lash line like right at the base of the lashes with something like this makes a huge difference. It's not completely blanking out the entire waterline, but it gives more of an illusion of that than if I just line the upper lash line. So I line the upper, I line the lower, and then I jab it in between, and I blank out all of this flesh toned skin that there is in between the lashes. I love this. For years, I didn't wear liquid liner. I'd been dealing with watery left eyes, so I was like, why would I buy this? This was the first product M launched with, and I was like, no. Just like this one, I'm like, I don't wear liquid lipstick. I don't wear liquid liner. I should have just trusted. I should have just gotten it, because I picked it up and it came in a set in January of 2021. So I've had one of these in my life for the last year, and it's one of those products that I don't want to be without. I have another one just waiting in the wings. This was in a box, but I finally finished one recently, and this is, I think, number 4, eyeliner number 4. This is eyeliner number 5. I've gone through so many of these in the last, 15, 16 months. They're just beautiful liners. And I do have another one that I trust for all day wear, like if I'm putting my makeup on at 7 and I have to have it on all day and I need to trust that it's there, but I need a brush for that. The fact that this comes with a brush tip applicator, this goes on super fast, super easy, no effort at all. And I wear this all day at work and I don't have any problems. The problem with my leaky left eye is that I quit wearing liner for years because I would have, tears coming out the corner here, and everything I tried, I would have like little black sad panda tears. A little gray dribbly line or a little like tan dribbly line from my brown liner. And I hated that. So I just thought, well, my days of wearing liner are over. And then I discovered this. So this is the product that I have repurchased the most, the product that I will not be without, obviously, as well as the one that I reach for the most. It's probably not the most exciting unless you love a liner from M Cosmetics. I like their blush a little bit better. I love their lip products. Remember, I love all of these products, but this is the one that I purchased the most, that I use the most, and is like my daily fave. This was kind of like an M Cosmetics love letter. I'm sure you're picking up on that. I would love to know if you have a favorite product from M. If there's a product maybe you've been wanting to try, you just haven't taken the plunge. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a remarkable day, and I'll see you again soon.